Ayurveda, we are talking about the doshas, my friends. So we've got 3 doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So let's break these down a little bit so I can talk about what each one of them is, and you can feel it in your body. Vata dosha, again, is a combination of air and space. So if you think about this space that we're in, or I'm in right now, and you put a big fan in here and blew the air through, think about what some of the qualities of that air might be. And in Ayurveda, we use the word gunas for qualities. So the quality of wind generally is dry, it's cool, it's light. These are the gunas of Vata dosha, or the qualities of Vata dosha. It is said that Vata lives in your large intestine. So the seat is in your large intestine. So let's think about that. If you have air and space quality, if you have dryness, windiness, coolness in your large intestine, how might that present itself in your body? It could be bloating, it could be gas, it could be lower back aches. Also, this air and space quality throughout Vata body can also be a sense of anxiety or a lot of movement, chaos, but also in a balanced state, it might be more like creativity and allowing the mind to wander and be more playful and free-like. So Vata doshas typically are people who have like creativity, they're artists, they are not your type A, do everything, like in a routine. They're very out of the box, really playful, very free-spirited. They tend, if they're not in balance, to have a lot of worry, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. In general, they tend to have a lighter build, so smaller individuals, smaller bones, lithe. They're not really good with routine. Generally, you could forget to eat all day long and then want to eat everything all at once, or you just get carried away. You tend to blame yourself rather than blaming others. You're just a little bit more free-spirited, we'll say. Now, wait a minute. If the Vata is in balance, then you don't deal with all that. But you know that if you fall out of balance, you are going to deal with the anxiety and the ungroundedness and the flightiness. All of that will happen. And again, when Vata is out of balance, you will experience lower back aches, constipation, gas, and bloating. These are all Vata disorders because digestion in Vata is weak. So when I talk about digestion, we're going to talk about Agni, which is the seat, the fire of digestion. And without any fire, right? So air and space quality has no fire. Your digestion cannot get fired up. So as a Vata dosha, you're going to be airy, and you're not going to digest your food well. So you might find that the food is left in your belly longer, or you always feel bloated after you eat. So we'll talk about how to remedy these things in the next video, but I do want to talk about the other doshas here in this video. The next one we're going to talk about is Pitta dosha. This is a combination of fire and water. So think about a pot of water on top of a gas stove, and that fire starts to heat the water up, and you get what? You get steam. And you think of the qualities, the gunas of steam, like if you were to put your finger in steam, it is sharp, it will burn you, it has a damp quality, it is very, very hot. The seat of Pitta in your body is your small intestine. So if you know about digestion, when you eat food, first thing that happens is you chew. Saliva helps to pull out some enzymes to break down the food. It goes into your stomach, where it continues to get broken down from stomach acids, and that also has to do with the fire. So if you have a strong Agni, a strong fire in your belly, which Pitta does, you can easily digest your food. That means when it comes out of your stomach and into your small intestine, where your body actually absorbs all the nutrients, you have a really good chance at having a high amount of nutrient absorption from your food, very good digestion from your food. So Pitta doshas typically are people that their logs burn fast, meaning like you eat, you have a higher metabolism, you burn through the fuel, and you're ready to eat again, and you burn through it fast. You feel like you digest food pretty darn good. A lot of times Pitta doshas will use the restroom 3 times a day because it's like, you eat, and then it's going to flow through your body and you're going to go. When a Pitta is out of balance and that fire gets out of balance, you've got competitiveness, you've got aggravation, you've got, bossiness, you can be a nasty little delegator. You just get sharp and fiery and aggressive and competitive when you're out of sorts. When you're imbalanced, you're going to be super passionate, super driven. super fiery in like the best ways, but out of balance, you might notice that you even get competitive, not just with yourself, but other people around you. So we'll talk about how to balance your Pitta dosha. You might also notice if your Pitta is out of alignment that the digestive fire, the Agni, is too hot, so you might get heartburn or acid reflux. Also, Pitta conditions would be anything with a hot condition like hives or rashes, acne, anything that comes out of your skin in red, that's a hot condition, whereas something like eczema that's really dry would be a Vata or a dry condition. Okay, so that's Pitta. We have one more to talk about before we move on to the next video. So we're going to talk about Kapha dosha, which is a combination of earth and water. So if you take a big pile of dry dirt and you put in some water and you mix it up, what do you get? You get mud. And when you think of the gunas, the qualities of mud, if you were to hold that mud and it seeps through, it's like cool and it's damp and it's heavy and it's dense. And that is exactly what the quality of Kapha dosha is. So Kapha lives in your stomach and in your lungs. So if you've got this heavy wetness in your lungs, you're going to be prone to have more like bronchial disorders. Any respiratory disorder is usually Kapha related, unless it's really dry, then it could be a Vata related disorder. Anything that carries mucus with it, so whether you see mucus in your phlegm, whether you see mucus in your stool, whenever you see anything that has to do with mucus, if you feel it, that is a Kapha disorder. So Kapha tends to be slow, lethargic. So if you're out of balance in your Kapha, you tend to have inertia. Like it's mental inertia, physical inertia, the ability to kind of get up and moving in the morning is really, really hard. Kaphas love to sleep in. You can have over-attachment to people and to things. You can have wetness or heaviness in your lungs or in your stomach, oversleeping. These are all Kapha conditions. Now when Kapha is balanced, Kapha is incredibly loving. They're just such givers. They are great psychotherapists because they love to listen and hold space for other people. They tend to move slow. They're naturally more passive than the other doshas are. So those are a little on the 3 doshas. Stay tuned for video number 4, where I'll talk to you about how to balance out your doshas. So that'll be next. Have a great day, you guys, and do the dosha quiz that is in the files section here, so you know exactly what your doshas are. And then when we come back and we'll talk about how to balance your dosha, you'll know exactly what you're doing. See you guys soon.